Deputy Gilmore.
Can I pursue this question, Corla, by asking the Taoiseach, first of all, in respect of the 760 people who are losing their jobs and who are becoming unemployed in an employment market in which there are few, if any, other available jobs for them. Can I ask, first of all, when did the government first hear that this bank was going to close its branch network? Was there any meeting between any government minister and anybody in this bank to discuss their plans? I note that the chief executive of the bank said yesterday, when he was informing the staff that they were to lose their jobs, that other options had been under consideration since last summer. Can I ask the Taoiseach, what were those other options, and did they include any suggestion of this bank being part of any possible amalgamation or rearrangement with other banking institutions in the state? Can I ask him also about the bank's business? What is his understanding of what will happen to the bank's business now that its branch network is going to be closed? And in particular, what is his understanding of the position of mortgage holders in this bank? This, after all, was the bank, we recall, that arrived into great cheers with a buccaneer approach to lending. It was the first with the 100% mortgages. It was introduced the tracker mortgages. It has apparently now, I think, 7% of the mortgage market. What is the position of somebody who has a mortgage with this bank and who may have difficulty, for example, in repaying the mortgage, as many people now do? Do we know what is the disposition of the bank with regard to mortgage holders? You know, a mortgage holder who, for example, had access to a branch and who won't have that access to it now, in terms of maybe talking with somebody about renegotiating their mortgage terms. Has there been any discussion with the bank in respect of those matters? So I'd like to ask Taoiseach, first of all, if you can tell the House when the government found out about the bank's intentions here, and what meetings, if any, it had, and what actions the government contemplated to deal with this.
Deputy Gilmore.
I find that reply absolutely incredible, Corla. Is the Taoiseach telling us that the first the government heard about this bank's intentions was yesterday, when they sent in a redundancy notice to the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment? I mean, this bank has been on the radar quite significantly, not only in respect of its approach to lending, going back, I mean, arguably this bank's lending practices and the practice that it commenced has certainly contributed to our banking problem. They've been engaged in a very high-profile advertising campaign throughout last year, offering deposit interests quite, from what I can see, quite significantly higher than competitor banks, which would seem to me that should have brought them to somebody's attention in government in that period of time. I mean, we've had, over the course of the past 12 months, I mean, banks have been the central issue on the political agenda. Are you telling us, Taoiseach, that nobody in government talked with this bank at any time over the last year, when apparently the bank, Mr. Higgins, the chief executive of the bank, said in announcing this to staff yesterday that this was on the closure of the branch network was something that was under consideration since last summer, and that he had hoped to avoid it by exploring other options. I must say I interpreted what he was saying in his statement yesterday as meaning that somehow they were involved in some kind of discussions with government in respect of this third arrangement for an amalgamation of banks. From what the Taoiseach is saying now, there was no discussions at all with the banks. I mean, how do we have a situation, Taoiseach, that in a year when banks and banks and banks are the centre of the political agenda, that nobody in government, no minister was talking to this bank, no department of government was talking to this bank about their intentions? They have a significant share of the mortgage market. They're aggressively competing for deposits, and now they announce they're closing their entire branch network to the disadvantage of their customers and to the personal loss family loss, income loss, job loss of the 750 staff. I mean, was the government asleep while this bank was considering withdrawing from retail activity and closing its branch measures? Will you tell us, I mean, are you saying to us that nobody in government met this bank over the course of the last year? Sure, I mean, if they were never thinking of closing their branch network, you'd think that somebody in government, in a year when nothing was being discussed but banking business, that somebody would have met and talked with a significant player in the banking industry.